On the back straightaway, into turn number 3, thick thin, still 3 wide, Brandon Feeney, high, wide, and handsome. He's going to go to the outside and get past Camillo.
I don't mean to be two birds and bees with you folks, but this is how cautions are born.
Welcome to another episode of the Feeney Call. Tonight's guest will be Gillian Hils, the Ohsweken mini stock champion. Gillian is one of those more reserved people, so I'm actually surprised we actually got her to come out for a quick interview with us. But she'll be on in just a moment. A little race recap because I actually get to do one for the first time in a while. Demo Cross on Friday was a blast. They had some of the biggest ramps that I've ever hit, and somehow pulled off a win again. So that's 2 demo crosses this year, 2 wins. So I can't complain about that. And for lack of good decision making and need for sleep, I got to race Dan Price's 1957 Chevrolet at Ohsweken Speedway. We slammed it together with my motor, his car, Donovan Price's pulleys, and accessories. I think we stole parts off other cars too. Not gonna lie. It was a fun time. Really, really challenging to learn a car, track, and surface all at the same time. I think if I had a car I knew and was learning the track and the surface, it'd be a little easier. But it was just, not gonna lie, it was a challenge. That was probably the most challenging aspect I've had in a while, to not suck, if you know what I mean, as a racer. And yeah, we went and re-raced and we got 8th. At least that's what's scored on the Oscar points page. Once again, can't complain because we ended up blowing up with, I think, a couple laps to go. Cylinder 2, cylinder 7, valves kiss pistons, so they're no longer functioning. So I gotta get my motor rebuilt or a new motor for the modified. But yeah, we were racing with I think the top 6 cars. So like 6th, 7th, and 8th where I was, and 9th were all in one pack, and the other cars were in another one. I feel like the car had more, but I was kind of letting the car down, not knowing where I could put it and how hard I can put it, because I got 5 hot laps. That was my practice for the day, and as an asphalt driver, you're not used to that's what you got. Then I got 8 heat laps and 25 race laps and 38 laps on the day. Doesn't seem like an awful lot, but I was tired at the end of it, but I was also tired going into it too. So maybe next time we'll have a little more sleep and I'll be a little more better prepared to handle dirt if someone lets me try dirt again. But yeah, that's enough about me. We're gonna bring on Gillian. She's going to get to talk about her championship year, which, depending on how this weekend goes, there's a chance that she's a co-champion of Flamborough as well with Wayne Thorne. But good luck to Wade and Gillian and Spencer and all that stuff. They're all friends of not only the podcast, but they're also friends of each other. So it's really great. There's going to be a party in the pits in the bone stock division or pure stock division of Flamborough. So if you're friends with them, just get ready to go party with whoever wins. But yeah, without further ado, we're going to bring on Gillian and hear what she gets to say for herself. Oh. All right, welcome to this week's episode of the Feeney Call. We have Ohsweken mini stock champion Gillian Hils. How are you doing?
I'm good. You?
Doing good. So you had a really smooth and consistent season out of Ohsweken. Did you actually end up getting a win, or did you get the championship without the win?
Without the win. I feel like that'll be the forever clause beside the championship. I was so close. It was a non-points race, the last one, and I led, I think, 13 out of the 15 laps. I didn't lead the last 2 laps, and it's like, yeah, that'll be the clause forever. But I was consistent enough. I was on the pad plenty, second, third, but never that top spot.
Hey, at the same time though, you lost a couple battles, but you won the war.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And like, I think that's the only year I've ever run Ohsweken and never crashed.
that's a win.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
Considering I don't have time to fix the car, like, that's a big win too, right?
yeah, that car still looked almost as good as like when like you hardly had any tire scrapes around it last time I seen it.
No, I had, yeah, maybe one in run-in with tires, and then I had someone's rub rail caught the door, so there was a little piece of it missing, and then a little front bumper damage, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's something to complain about in the mini stock division. Like
Yeah. Mhm.
like I've seen sprint cars be way worse after hot laps.
Yeah.
But
Sprint cars are like nothing else. They just, yeah.
so you also drive on pavement, and you've been a local at Flamborough Speedway, especially with
Mhm.
your minion-sized smart car there.
Oh, yeah, some King of the Hill.
Yeah, King of the Hill plus like you're in mini stock, bone stock. What's
Yep.
it like transitioning from dirt to asphalt, like back and forth?
I've been doing it since I started racing, and now the transition just feels seamless. It just feels like, oh, I go to dirt, it's just a wet asphalt track, and then vice versa. But asphalt seems so calm, so calculated, and then dirt is just like you just bury your foot in it and just keep pointing the steering wheel where your eyes are going and hope you end up there.
So what you're saying is enduros on the wet asphalt, you're looking for like the best advantage.
Yeah, like Flamborough Speedway Enduros, I'm like, yes, this feels like dirt. Someone just dropped a bunch of water in the corner. I'm like, okay, yeah, this feels the same.
Right. So I gotta try dirt for the first time yesterday. Yeah, it doesn't drive at all like asphalt.
Oh yeah.
I, I didn't go off the edge of brightening into the creek. I didn't hit the wall, but I did catch an infield tractor tire, so I feel like I'm part of the dirt club now.
Oh yeah, you're part of the community now. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, it's funny how quick those tractor tires sneak up on you.
Oh yeah, because you're just sliding the whole time, right?
It wasn't even that. Is so we were running, I think, 3 wide for a position that didn't matter. But
Okay.
the guy that was in the middle was just constantly basically swerving like he was doing pace laps on asphalt. And
Okay.
I went to avoid him, and boom, tractor tire.
Mid. Yeah.
But way better than an inside wall.
Oh yeah, they don't like. They're harder than you think they'd be when you hit them the first time, but they're not as hard as the wall. That's for sure.
I think that's how I should crinkle the door on the car, because the door was actually all like pushed back and crinkled. I'm like, what the hell did I hit? I'm like, oh, all right, tractor tire.
Yeah.
But it's actually funny because I have always made fun of Dan because he's a bottom feeder at racetracks. Like he doesn't go to the top very often, and
Yeah.
if he does, it's because he got forced up there.
Mhm.
So I was joking around after hot lap saying I'm going to try to avoid the bottom. Well, the track was really grippy on the bottom, and there was no grip anywhere above that.
Yeah.
So I was trying to learn. Like once again, I'm driving a car I've never driven before on a track I've never driven before on a type of track I've never driven before. Trying to learn all this at the same time. I finally found something, started moving, and that's when the motor stopped running on all eight.
Yeah. You got it moving enough that the motor didn't want to anymore.
Yeah, well, it still has great traction on 6 cylinders though. You don't have to worry about
Oh
spinning the
yeah,
rear
you got
tires.
traction control basically, right?
Yeah, it just didn't have the horsepower down the straightaway like some of these guys do.
Yeah.
So, what classes all have you driven so far in your career?
I did of course pure stock. I keep going back to pure stock. Ohsweken Speedway had a similar class, which was bombers. I ran that until they canceled the class. I've run mini stock at both tracks. I ran Pro Force for a couple years. And that's about it. I tested Mike Westwood's Can-Am Midget the one time. It was really fun, but I've stayed in the 4 cylinders. I've had some fast 4 cylinders, but all 4 cylinders.
So what was the Can-Am midget like?
Really similar to like a Pro 4. It just felt like a step up from a Pro 4. Lots of grip, like super light car, and then just like good power going down the straightaway.
Could you get that thing to do a wheelie when you're coming to the corners of Flamborough?
I wish.
So which one of Mike's cars did you test? Was it Nuke or was it Scud or was it
It was Nuke, yeah. Rest
poor
in
Nuke?
peace, Nuke.
Yeah, I was gonna say poor Nuke.
Yeah.
That Mike builds good cars,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but so obviously you drive 4 cylinders a bunch, and like your dad's been a racer and guy that's driven derbies forever,
Yeah.
right? So do you look at yourself like trying to go into some of the stuff that he's done, kind of like to be like, I can do this better, Dad, or is it like,
No, no. I'm out there just for fun at this point now. It was when you're young, you're like, oh, I want to climb the ranks and I want to get in big cars, and I'm like, I have fun just pulling the 4 cylinder. Like Dad's done a lot of work on the mini stock, but the pure stock, I have fun. I just go out the back, pull it out, pull all the walnuts out. Like the squirrels, 2 weeks sitting in the back, they can put like 20 walnuts in the car. Pull the walnuts out, change a tire, and go racing. That's what I like doing now.
you say that there was a bunch of peanuts in the back of the hot rod for this
Yeah.
weekend. They made it through hot laps. They did not make it through the heat race.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
if you leave the walnuts in there, just put them by the exhaust, you'll have a toasted snack for the end of the race.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't smell too nice, these walnuts. Last time I ran the pure stock, I thought I had them out. We pulled probably 20 walnuts out. And then I'm scrubbing my tires for the last feature, and I hear a walnut roll across the passenger floor, jump over the tunnel, and into my foot box. I'm racing, and I can feel the walnut up against my ankles and my feet. And I'm like, as long as you don't go under the brake pedal, I'm like, I think I can crush a walnut under the brake pedal if I need to, but yeah, definitely a distraction.
Yeah. And the worst part is like, I'd be like, where is it? Where? Oh, look
Yeah.
past the fence. Like, because then you got like like most of us drive 2-footed. I don't know if you do or not.
Yeah,
but
I do too. Yeah.
so it's like, do you drive 1-footed for a bit, try to kick the walnut out of harm's way and like into like the door or something like that, or where you
Yeah.
kick it like under the seat, or do you sit there and just like pray it doesn't go underneath one of the good pedals and like
Yeah.
just because like I'd even kick it underneath the clutch because you don't need that till you come off the track.
Yeah. Well, you don't have much control. You can kick it out of the way, but it kind of just goes to the right side of the car, right? Until it hits something. Every turn, it just rolls over back in.
Yeah, that's where if you could like kick it and pin it in the clutch, you would have been all right.
Yeah.
It might have damaged something, but at the same time, it's less damage to damage a clutch pedal than it is to not have a brake pedal entering the corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just-
I think the most dangerous part is in the back of your mind. You're just like, where'd the walnut go? Oh, yeah, corner. Oh, where'd the walnut go? Oh, check your mirror. It's like,
Yeah. What? It's gonna be like do you remember that commercial when like the M&Ms were driving Kyle Busch's car?
okay, yeah.
It's like you're on the gas, you're on the brake. Who's looking out the window?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what that reminds me of, and it's just like but we've all run into a situation like that at least once in our racing career where something goes wrong. It's a major distraction. The one that's worse for me is when the rear view mirror isn't tight enough and just slowly drops down, and like you like bump it back up and it slowly drops down. It's like, but in some classes you need that mirror. Like it's never like a bone stock it does that to me, and it's always like a late model where I need the
Yeah.
mirror because I don't run spotters.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So have you dabbled into like the demolition derby world as well, driving or?
Oh, that's a good story. I've done half a lap of demo cross. I was in a Toyota Tercel. We had it all prepped up. I started on the pole. They used to start us just around the corner from the ramp. I spun the tires, I went wide. I was probably like 19 at the time. Spun the tires, went wide, and I go to come over the ramp, and I got spun while they're still 2x2x2. I went off the ramp sideways, it dug in. I rolled, of course, but the one car went, kind of drove up me like I was the addition to the ramp, and it like torpedoed off to the one side, and the other one went straight up and landed like right here in my windshield. Yeah, I got out. I didn't really realize what happened. I knocked my head off the gravel when it happened. I didn't really know what happened, and I get out and I see two cars upside down, and the roof of my car is like pushed over a foot. I'm like, oh, I think that was bad. And yeah.
So what you're saying is if you do demo cross again, you're gonna have like one of those halo bars around the roof.
Yeah, we're not gonna just grab the quick, convenient roll bar and kind of cobble it together to make it fit. I'm very tempted with that smart car to do demo cross.
Have you seen the guy that uses a smart car for the Impact Motorsports rollover contest?
Yeah, that would be fun. That's what I feel like that's what I would accomplish, but in the demo cross with other cars driving around. I think paint it up like a die and just let it roll.
Yeah, but how many numbers are you gonna put on it?
Yeah.
Like, are you doing 6 numbers? You going like a D20? Like,
Yeah, it's got 6 sides, right? They're pretty cubular.
I would go. So
I think it'd be so fun, and then I get mixed reviews from Dad. I'm like, this sounds so fun, and he's like, yeah, that's sick. He's like, wait, Dad mode kicks in. You're gonna get hurt, and I'm like, we can build it really safe, and he's like, eh.
Well, if you look at Impact's rules, you can do almost anything to a demo cross car. You could full cage it like a race car, and like I don't know if you guys have seen the figure 8 cars that you're allowed nowadays, with like they're like full caged race cars, skin doors, everything. I'm like, this is a lot of money to spend on figure 8, but like the biggest thing is for I'm still childish. I want one of the goddamn championship belts that they give out.
Oh, fair.
So like I don't know if you've ever seen them. They literally have like a WWE championship belt that you get for point series now. It's no different than wanting to chase an igloo or a maple leaf or like those special trophies in racing. It's like I don't have one of those. It looks good over there.
They understand the racers and demo crowd. It's like, oh, that's a fancy looking piece of plastic. I want one. How much? Oh, well, you got to put like $1,000 into a car, and then you can, smash it up and probably put another 3 in.
Well, and the thing is, you got to chase all season. It's a season-long championship.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, it's super cool because who else gives out championship belts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, you just want to hang it on the wall, and then when your buddies come over, they go, "What's that?" And you're like, "Well."
I won't even hang on the wall. The entire next year, I'd be wearing it around like John Cena.
Yeah.
Just like walk over the shoulder, like champ is here.
Yeah. Go into the sign-in booth.
Like, why not? You earned it. Until you get knocked off the throne like WWE style. That's your belt.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I am immature. That is bragging rights.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. I thought about putting a figure 8 card together because I don't see me being able to run for a Derby championship because they run like a figure 8 championship, a youth championship, and a Derby championship. So you get points for however you score and stuff like that. But it's like, figure 8, I can see building a couple cars, but everyone builds Cavaliers. Mm-hmm. I personally don't want to kill the Cavaliers because I know a lot of people need them for race car parts.
Yeah.
Right? So it's
you
like
become part of our community and now it's hindering you.
Yeah, it's like I don't mind killing Civics because they win all the time, so people don't need them anymore. So I'm like, so lately I've been using the Toyota Matrixes and the Pontiac Vibes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Nobody races those.
No.
But they have a 1.8 and they're shorter wheelbase than a Corolla or close to it. And they turn really well.
Yeah.
Like I did demo cross in Lindsay and I did an Orono, Lindsay Friday in Orono a couple weeks ago. I can go around the blocks without e-braking.
Okay. Oh, that's better than most Cavaliers, probably.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if like I put a little time into one, like headers, maybe spice up the engine a little bit, like you can't kill a Toyota where the Ecotechs are a little weaker.
That's See,
I have the whole project brain of you thinking right now.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I would get lost in a figure 8. I was watching figure 8s last night, and I was like, the one guy got confused and went backwards, and I'm like, That would be me. That's all it would take. One spin the wrong way, and I'm just suicide race figure eight style.
See, I always thought that would be fun to do a suicide figure eight race because like you're already hitting each other full bore in the middle anyway.
Yeah.
So start 4 here, start 4 here. Last car running.
Oh, last car running.
So well, you
Yeah.
have demo cross. I don't know which company's running because I don't really pay attention to more than Impact because that's the only one I run.
Yeah.
So you run your heat races, you run your features, and at the end of the night they have what's called a free for all. So you still have to do the demo cross, like go over the jumps and stuff like that. But it's last car running wins like the 100% buy-in.
Okay.
So the only thing I see about the problem with the figure eight is people would start doing driver's door shots.
Yeah.
Like not even intentionally, but if you have half going one way, you're almost always lining up with the passenger door or always lining up with the driver's door.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just a little harder to keep track of because normally you're coming around the one bend, it's always driver's door. The other, yeah, but if you got, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So
They're all different every time. Yeah.
but that's where you just kind of meet in the center and hope it's a good axle shot and hope you don't hit a door.
Yeah.
But figure eight demo cross. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Just a big tabletop jump in the center with like a
Yes.
monster truck style, and
I
we'll
would have a hard time saying no.
I think we all would.
Yeah.
It's like if someone offered me a monster truck. Do you want to drive it? Yes.
Yes. It'd be like, I feel like even figure eight, oh, you're winning, but there's an opportunity to collide with someone in the air. I think it's worth it. I think it's more fun.
I know for a fact I was doing well in the demo cross in Lindsay, and I was coming to take the checkered. I'm like, well, it's not gonna be cool if I just slow roll the jump. So I pinned the throttle coming into the corner to see how much air I could get, and landing 3 blocks after the jump was enough to take the rat out.
Oh, yeah.
But you would have loved the jumps they had in Lindsay. So you know the concrete blocks that they use for the derbies and stuff, right?
Yeah.
The jumps were above that.
Sick.
Yeah. We had airtime.
Yeah. Like, you
Like,
gotta be careful. Like how you ended up, you hit the blocks at the end when you gassed it.
no, so like there's 3 blocks, like so you know the derby like that block all the way down the end.
Yeah.
I landed like 3 blocks after the jump.
Sick.
So
Yeah.
that was a good day for a Duke's car. Anyway, now that we got sidetracked for like 30 minutes on demo derbies and like what we can do to cheat
That
cars out.
happens. Yeah.
So obviously you're running as a team with I think it's Wade Thorne at Flamborough as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It-
kind of just ruined his points for him. I had one good run and the motor was going weak, but I wasn't too confident in the car. And I'm like, I think the motor's weak, but I'm like, it's a car that you really have to keep wound up. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm keeping it wound up or if the motor's weak. I'm like, it doesn't seem right. So I ran 2 weeks like that. And then he got in and he's like, yeah, the motor's weak. And I'm like, yeah. So that made the points battle real tight for him. I think him and Spencer are like within 5 points of each other now.
But you know what? I think he enjoys that.
Oh, it's
Like,
way more exciting.
and because it's like Flamborough's got a big family atmosphere. I don't think anyone cares who wins the championship between the two of them. I think there's just going to be a party either way. It's going to be whose trailer the beer's at.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. Like, pure stocks are awesome. Everybody's friends with everybody in that whole class.
And I find that more and more because I remember for the longest time, like you couldn't bring a Peterborough car down to Flamborough because you were an outsider, but like it's kind of changed. It's just like the bone stock, pure stock community is like, no, we're doing this. Like we're all friends. Like we'll help each other out. And it's been like since COVID happened.
Yeah.
Like it went from we're the most serious racers in the world and like we're gonna fight over everything.
Yeah. We're all going to NASCAR and we have to win the races to get there.
To like you knocked my door in. Here's a beer.
Yeah. It's like, what were you doing? I'm like, it was kind of funny, but like, don't do that anymore.
You know who I'm gonna blame for this? Leo Lababera.
Oh yeah.
He is the most aggressive gentle giant ever.
Yeah.
And he's always good for like entertaining saves at least once or twice a race.
He he's come so far too. Like when he started, he was one of those guys that I'm like, oh, he probably won't stick with it, but he's gonna wreck a few cars and it's gonna be fun. Like he was like when he started, he was wrecking cars like every other week, eh? And then it's like he goes and he's progressed, and I'm like, he turned into like a really good driver. Like there's still some hooligan stuff that happens, but like a really good driver now. Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever get the hooligan out of Leo.
I hope not.
When I grow up, I want to be as not mature as Leo.
Yeah.
So, and the funniest part is like the car he's running now, that silver and bronze one or whatever
Yeah.
it was built as a joke.
Yeah. Perfect.
He built it as a four-door because no one races four-door. Then Spencer brought out a four-door, and someone else brought out a four-door, and he goes, I guess we're running four-doors now.
Yeah. He ran a four-door, and everyone's like, oh yeah, they're kind of the same car.
They are, and like there's certain rules in place that not a lot of people exploit that you could actually take advantage of using the four-door better.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, because two-door you have X amount of door and stuff like that where your cage and stuff to be like, well, I know if the rules say if you put your door bars into the skin to keep well, if you go all the way to the back door, you could skin that door too for safety reasons.
Yeah, so the roll bar fits.
Exactly, for safety reasons. Well, what if I have a tall driver? I got to move the seat back. Got to have it back. So you get two skin doors out of it instead of just. So you get to skin half the car.
Oh yeah.
See, look, there's the like, ooh, I could build a four-door.
Yeah.
But
I like mine. My car is just the tiniest possible cage you could fit, so it uses the least amount of tubing. But I still have all my door skins and everything. We just hammered them out. And it was just like a quick enduro build. That pure stock I run, I think we picked it up on a Wednesday afternoon and enduroed it on, I don't know, Labor Day. Probably like a Sunday or something. And then we just only repaired it after that, and it's been good. So
is this the one that you have to just like talk nicely to when the engine starts sounding bad?
yeah, we it sounded like a tractor when I took it out at the start of the year. Like just the valves just ticking and everything. And we're like, we just don't want to do anything. Like this car's supposed to be the like pull it out of the back car. And Dad's like, maybe we'll just do an oil change on it. Oil change ran like a top. Like nothing was wrong with it the whole time. I'm like, I go to him like, when I wasn't around, did you like adjust the valves or anything? He's like, no, I just changed the oil. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks.
Car gets fresh oil. That's Honda's for you right there.
Oh yeah.
They just want basic maintenance.
Run out of water. So many enduros, and like it was just supposed to blow up. Like we didn't have anything really invested in it. We took a cage out of another car, slapped it in, and like just been racing it like that.
So the one I want to talk to you about is probably one of my favorite cars, but you guys don't have it anymore. Is the wagon.
Yes, I knew you were gonna say that when you let up.
Because like I love the fact that a wagon mini stock is out there. Because it exploits a lot of like your dad's a pretty smart guy building cars. You're pretty smart with cars. And this is kind of like it seemed like two ideas came into one and let's build a wagon.
Yeah. I feel like you give us more credit than we deserve. It was a wagon came up for sale. And I was like, are we allowed to run that body? Because on dirt, we weren't allowed to run the body. That wagon body, that car was originally a sedan. And I raced it on dirt in 2018. Lost the points by 1 point. And then work schedule changed and I couldn't race Ohsweken anymore. So we built that into the asphalt car. And we're building it. And we tore it apart and built it. And I ran one Frost Fest. And I'm like, it's awful. And then we put it in the backyard. And Dad was like, in theory, it should be really, really good. So like a year or two later, he convinced me. We built it again. And a wagon came up. And I was like, we need the roof for that. And we hacked the roof off, put the roof on. And that was the first car I go to Dad. I go, I know sometimes you build like ugly cars because they're an advantage. I'm like, I will take some disadvantages for a pretty car just to have this wagon look nice.
And it was super pretty. Like it's honestly the nicest car I think you've ever had.
Oh yeah, because I specifically told him, I'm like, I want it to be pretty. I will finish second if it looks pretty. Like, it's a wagon, like, it had a sunroof in it, like, a feature that I want in every race car now. Because 'cause you're doing up your belts, you can see everything in the car.
So, like, what'd you do? Put like Lexan in the sunroof?
Lexan in the sunroof, yeah. Because in pure stocks, it says it must be covered with metal, and in mini stocks, they have no sunroof rule. Technically, you could just leave it open, but that doesn't seem that safe.
Yeah. Just put a window net there. Just
Yeah.
because
The
that's
left-hand window was sick. It was amazing.
but yeah, like I said, it was one of those things that I seen it run. I'm like, I watched you race the first time. I'm like, who? I'm like, I'm looking at the rules. I'm like, wait, wagons are legal as a mini stock? Because for a while you weren't allowed to run like uh, so Peterborough had a rule that you could run like a wagon and bone stock, but not in mini stock.
Oh,
And then,
okay, yeah.
and then your guys' rules switched where you can run the wagon. And
Yeah, we
bone.
can't run the wagon. Well,
But
that was on dirt. I couldn't run the wagon on mini stocks on dirt. And then I came to
but
asphalt and it was allowed. And I'm like, that is the coolest thing ever.
so was that like mostly stock that car, or was it tube underneath the kit, or like
Oh, there was a lot of tubing in that one. It was a dirt car that had to be really light, and then because it's a low horsepower engine. It's high torque but low horsepower, which is kind of why we really like them because the rules are all to horsepower, right? So it was like I'm trying to reach mini stock minimum weight in a wagon, so everything had to be cut out of that, and then lots of aluminum and everything.
so if you had a choice to build like another pretty car, what kind of car would you be picking?
I don't know if I'd bother with another pretty car again. I would love to have a wagon all over again.
So like do we go like a hot rod wagon, like an old school wagon, or like you
Oh,
just
okay, I see what you're saying. Oh, vintage mod, those coaches. That's what's always caught my eye. Something like what Rodney has. Rodney Rutherford.
yeah. I wonder if
Yeah.
you could even go like extended even more. Like
Like
if you're gonna
even
make it pretty, you could make it like full wagon, like just way past the wheels.
yeah.
But
Find like a 30s school bus and just yeah,
that would actually be pretty
that
badass.
would be
As long
fun.
as you leave it painted as a
It has to be yellow. Yeah.
freaking yeah, and you just have like Gillian's bus on the side where it's like normally the bus company.
Yeah.
But so did you see there's a bus derby happening at Fall Brawl again?
Oh yeah.
So
I've only ever seen them at Humberstone.
so Impact runs the short buses
Yeah, then
for
you have
all
more
us
room.
all us special people.
Yeah.
So but yeah, it's literally like a straight stock truck build, and
Okay, yeah.
they were hitting hard. They junked these mini buses in like one run.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah,
like,
I feel like it would be like doing a minivan demo. I feel like buses are solid.
yeah. The
Mhm.
one guy I take advice from for like, I'm thinking about getting back into derbies, and I'm like, which classes are going to like not rattle my brain the most? Because you know this. I've been through so many concussions. I'm like, I don't really want another one.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'll take the risk if it's a lower risk. But like impact compacts and stuff like that, the full well compacts, I'm like, yeah, that looks like it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
But he goes straight stock trucks, but not the buses. Buses are the hardest things I've ever been in
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah.
just I-beam.
Yeah, no, it makes full sense. It's yeah. They're like trucks, like transport trucks basically.
I want to see like mini bus races. Everyone races the full size buses, and they're
Mhm.
tippy. I want to see mini bus races
Yeah.
because I feel like you could actually race those.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what we need. We need a mini bus enduro.
Mini bus enduro, yes. And then
But
like
so,
mix in like RVs and stuff or something.
all right, Eve of Destruction. I like it
Yeah.
because if you hit an RV, it just goes everywhere.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like the guys with RVs are only signing up to race them once, but like they're gonna be the show.
They're also gonna be the biggest cleanup.
Oh yeah, I have to do it on an asphalt track. I don't know how Humberstone did it all those years, but
just pack it back in.
Yeah.
Just drive over it.
Oh, we're bringing sprint cars in. Oh, you got a flat tire? Oh, yeah, it was a piece of trim out of a motorhome.
Yeah, that was the left side wall of Buddy's car from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But so what tracks have you all kind of crossed off the list? Because I know obviously Ohsweken, Peterborough.
Nope, never Peterborough.
You've never raced Peterborough? I thought you did.
Nope, I've just been there. I don't travel much because we're kind of just low maintenance racing. It's just kind of fun. I just Ohsweken and Flamborough, of course. I've been doing that on and off 11 years. And then I went to Humberstone a handful of times, but I'm about 50% crash rate there, like 50% like wreck the car crash rate there. And I was like, I gotta stop doing that. And that's it for real race cars. And then I took my smart car on a bit of a tour. I've run King of the Hill at Delaware. Oh, I ran one of Chris's cars at Delaware too. I didn't do very good in it, but I ran the smart car at Delaware, which was fun and terrifying. Not as terrifying as Ohsweken in a smart car for King of the Hill. And then I've track ride at what was it? I think it was Sauble. I almost rolled it there because I was being an idiot, and then I got kicked off of the track for track drying. I kind of wish I rolled it.
Yeah, if you're gonna get kicked off, at least put on a show.
Yeah. Like I come out of the corner and I tromp the throttle because it's a smart car and I wasn't expecting much, but it was wet and it kicked sideways and it slid sideways for probably a good 10, 15 feet. And when it come to a stop, it thumped down hard on the left side. I was like, I almost rolled it. And I'm like, that's sick. That was cool.
That's why you don't drift smart cars.
Yeah.
Is your smart car a gas smart car or a diesel?
That one's a gas. My first one, I had a diesel one, but they were only like 40 horsepower. It feels like you're driving a golf cart on the road.
You pretty much are. Actually, golf carts, I think, are bigger.
Yeah. What is it? The John Deere Gator. I've had one of those beside the smart cart, and it's bigger. One of the guys I worked with, his Victory motorcycle, like big cruiser motorcycle, it was longer than my smart car too.
I think that's the goal for Frostfest. If you gotta get Mike Schmidt's regulation golf cart beside yours.
Yeah.
To
Oh
see,
yeah, because that's a big golf cart too.
to see, we can call a golf cart race to see if you're allowed in.
Yeah. I'm taking the yellow one with the mini stock tires all the way around.
So have you ever thought about taking like your dirt mini stock to like autumn colors or stuff like that just to see how it do on pavement, or just no interest?
I practiced it because we were having speed sensor issues. It turned out being speed sensor issues before the season started. And I was practicing it every Tuesday and then going Saturdays at Flamborough to take it out for the practice sessions. It is slower than my pure stock by like, I think a second.
Yeah, but like, is that with like the dirt tires on, or is that like with the race
No,
tires?
that was with like pure stock style tires on it. But just you'd have to go through all the suspension and everything and turn it a little bit more pavement. Then
See, I think a car like that would do better at Peterborough because it's not so straightaway based. It's just how you get to the end, and it's more of a. It's not so much of a stop, turn, go. It's more of a just momentum, right?
okay, yeah.
I've always struggled at Flamborough because the corners are too long.
Okay, yeah.
By the time I'm usually done turning, I'm like, oh, I still have another corner. Because like
Okay, yeah.
you build that muscle memory in for like how you normally drive, and it's like, all right, you turn it, you start turning it. Oh nope, turn back in.
Yeah.
Or I clip the apron every single time.
Yeah, I like to just tap the apron a little bit and it gets the car to turn a little bit better is what I've found for my cars.
Yeah, but a little bit's fine. Like if you just like
Yeah.
hook half a tire on there, it de-wedges the car and it hooks. I'm like catching half the right side tire when I hit it.
Okay, yeah.
I just need John Caselli just to put like a yellow line right around where the apron is, just so I have like a visual
Just
reference.
a little more clear.
Yeah. Because like I don't mind being down there if I'm going a lap down.
Mhm.
But when you're battling for like fourth or fifth and you clip half that apron, I'm like, well, this sucks.
Yeah.
because you can't just like come up because if you got a guy above you, like he's sort of like, all right, thank you for the free track.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. And then we'll go into enduro cars, like enduro racing. And I had a Honda RSX, which was a beast of a car. And you come up on slow track, and you just go all the way down to the grass and hook the left side tires on the edge of the pavement and come out.
that reminds me of that. There's an anime show. It's like the Ghosts of something like that. Freaking I've been watching. Can't remember what
Oh,
the name is, but yeah, he literally like hooks the tires in the curb and like goes around this freaking thing. Somebody is nerdy enough that knows what the name of that show is that can remind me. I stopped
oh,
watching it because I can't remember the name.
oh.
But welcome to 1,000 concussions. But
Yeah.
so like, what kind of cars are you kind of like looking for like enduro cars now besides cheap?
Oh, I think I'm probably just gonna start running my Prelude again. The motor seems like it's slowing down. I'm probably 2/10 slower than I used to be in it. I'm like, it might just be time to push on putting that one in the ground. See if I can kill it somewhere.
Yeah, but you'll that car you'll probably try to kill it and it'll get faster.
Yeah, no, I've been trying to kill it for 8 years. That car, when I got it, I wouldn't put the wind stickers on the door. I started putting them on my helmet, and the cars lasted longer than that helmet. That helmet expired.
Yeah, because now you got that really fancy helmet too, don't you? You got the carbon fiber one, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, that was after Pro 4s after I hurt my neck crashing. I went to carbon fiber just to lighten it up on my neck.
Yeah, I'm super jealous of this carbon fiber helmet.
I know. It's like it feels like it's part of my personality now. I just love that helmet so much.
Well, and the thing is, like, so when you're trying out new helmets, like you go to like Motorama because you get try on a bunch of different ones, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you put it on the regular helmet we're all used to. I'm like, all right, this feels normal. You put it on the carbon fiber, like, what is this? Like,
Have
it's
you
like,
ever picked up a Bell carbon fiber helmet? I swear it weighs like air. Like it's crazy.
no, the only one I've picked up was the Rouge
Oh, okay, yeah.
because they come in with like all the radios and everything were built in. So like when I was running late model and stuff, I'm like, I don't have to install things, and it's like
Yeah.
$800. Well, the
And
carbon
those are
fiber one
nice
was like
looking helmets too, which is superficial, but they look cool.
they are, but like I said, you have a drink tube in it. You have like the radios are all built in, the headsets all. So like if you could get like an adapter, you could put your receiver right to your helmet, so it's talking through your helmet.
Yeah.
But and like they have air vents that go to them. Like they have the tear off things already in the visor.
Yeah.
I found that out this weekend because I'm
Yeah.
like, I actually got to pull my first tear off because somebody's. Well, I had the windshield in, so I didn't have to like pull them like crazy. But like there was a guy spinning, and I watched him spin, and then just dirt. I'm like, on asphalt, that doesn't happen. But
Yeah.
on asphalt, I don't have these.
Yeah.
So, but here's a question for you for people that maybe don't know dirt racing that often. How many tear offs do you think you go through in a season?
Funny thing, mini stocks, I put them on. I put 2 tear offs on every start of those mini stocks, hardly ever. Like a
Really?
lot of yeah, but like I run a little bit different line than everyone else. Like I'm down low most of the time too, right? And the dirt flies high. I think this season I pulled 1 tear off that needed to be pulled, and that's it.
You're
Yeah.
just running down there because it's cheap, I think.
Yeah.
Tear
You
offs
have
are
a lot of
expensive.
options when people crash. Yeah.
No, you have right. That's your only option. If you're against the wall, where are you going other than right?
Yeah, but if you're going all out, it's hard to make your car do more left, that's for sure.
I guess so.
Yeah.
More left is always a lot, and like brakes don't break on dirt.
No.
I
I've
found
had
that out the
cars
fun
where
way.
the brakes I went to Humberstone, and for some reason, I don't know if one of my rotors is warped and was pushing back a caliper, but as soon as I'd get going fast, I'd lose brake. I'd have to like pump them 3 times before I'd get brake at Humberstone. I'm like, I don't really need the brakes. You just turn harder left, get it more sideways, slow it down.
Well, it's weird because I lost brakes last night at Bright,
Yeah.
and now that you mention, it, I'm like, I wonder if the track was just so rutted that the wheels were pushing, like rattling the fucking brakes
Caliper's
around.
back or something. Yeah.
Because
Because
there's
I
a few
never had
times
an
I
issue on asphalt with that.
Yeah, because there's a few times I'm like pumping the brake pedal, pumping the brake pedal. I'm like, oh, and then I'm like locking up in the middle of the corner, which is not good on dirt because
No,
it's not good on
it's not
pavement.
good anymore. Yeah.
It's really bad on dirt.
Uh-huh.
But then I just like release the brake, yank the left, and then like get it back down to the tires. I'm like, I look like an idiot right now.
Yeah.
But I didn't wipe that guy out, so I'm proud.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But then I'm like, I just changed like the weird thing is on dirt, like you could change how you pitch the car in if you were having issues getting it to slow down,
Mhm.
which that's a whole new level of weird. Like,
Yeah, you have a lot of options on dirt. Like the line, there's no fast like there's a fast line, but it might change after 3 laps, and you can hit the brakes hard to get in, or you use the steering wheel to crank it left hard to slow it down. It's weird.
and that's the thing is like I started on the outside last night, and like we started making up ground on the outside. Like I was right up against the top, and like
Mhm.
made up a couple spots. I'm like, all right, top's the spot to be. I'm like, I'm just gonna run the top. Then all of a sudden, boom, boom. I'm like, where'd all the top speed go? And I'm like, and then I go like down to like the middle. Well, that was a bad choice because that's where it was like super slick because it just wouldn't turn.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, let's get down to the bottom. And then I finally, and the worst thing is, you're on the bottom of a pavement track. You can kind of figure out track to track how to run the bottom of a track.
Mhm.
The tires move. So like you have to like constantly watching where the tires are and stuff like that.
Oh, after yeah.
Cause like when I hit it, the tire was moved actually in a better spot because it moved in.
Okay, yeah.
So I was able to like right hook. So there's I don't know if you've ever run Brighton. Right at the bottom, there's like a little bit of a edge, so you can get your
Okay.
tires down into it, like just like literally pin it against it.
Uh-huh.
So it was actually really good. So I was actually making spots back up. But then, like I said, I got to one driver that just honestly, I don't know if he's new. I don't want to make fun of him. He's new because like I feel bad discouraging new drivers. But if he's not new, he really needs someone to smack him upside the head because like he went from the top and like here's the thing is we're allowed spotters and mirrors and Oscar on dirt.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
because it's Oscar rules, right?
Yeah.
So he comes from the top lane all the way down across my nose, like hits the car across my nose. I'm like, where do you want me to be?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like,
that's interesting because those are guys that normally drive asphalt. I find asphalt people are, I don't know how to say this, more calculated when they do stuff. They're used to like more disciplined running a specific line and stuff. And I find dirt, the drivers have, it takes longer to learn dirt because there's so many variables. And sometimes you get lucky when you're doing something, say you're doing something kind of stupid, but the car's fast, you still just never really learn.
how can you learn at that point? Because you could show up to the same track all year and it'll never be the same twice.
Exactly. That's like running practice. Me and dad are like, what's the point of running practice? Like when you're new, obviously. But for me, I'm like, the track's going to be different when I go back out there. I'm better off to watch practice and see what the track might do for the heat race.
Yeah, and so I come back in from hot laps, and Dan goes, "How's the car?" And he goes, "Never mind. Did you have fun?"
Yeah.
So, because I start trying to tell him that like, "Oh, the car doesn't turn, doesn't do this," he goes, "You'll never see that track again." I'm like,
Yeah.
"What?" Because it's not making sense to like a pavement driver. Like, what do you mean I'll never see the track? It's right there.
Yeah.
Like it drove off. I will make it back.
Yeah.
But but yeah, it was just I just honestly, if I could get that front end to actually bite in a little better, I would have been all
Yeah.
right. But because of the lack of brake issues, I was using throttle steer. So
Mhm.
halfway through the corner, I was just pinning it almost wide open, like just feathering it to keep the I don't want to say drift angle, right? Because it's probably not the it's,
Yeah, but that's the concept.
yeah
Mhm.
the yaw rate. But
Uh-huh.
I was getting to the next corner too fast because I was building momentum. So then I had to have no brakes and drift up again. I'm
Oh,
like,
and try and yeah.
so I actually started getting like we had a late race yellow, like I said, though, when I watched ready to pull a tear off. I'm like, I'm just gonna hook the bottom and see what happens. And I doing that same thing. I pulled away from the guys that were catching me. I'm like, it makes no sense. On asphalt, you could never do that. You could never just be like, I'm gonna run this line and be like 5/10 faster.
Mhm.
Because
And,
like
like,
it,
sometimes the lines are weird that work too. Like, if you ever at Ohsweken, Ryan Beagle, depending on the track, has this strange line where he kinda comes in high, and then when he's halfway through the corner, he cuts like straight, and it works amazing depending on the track. And like asphalt, you'd never be able to do that.
Half the asphalt tracks you can't come in high.
Yeah.
Like, I think Sunset's probably your best opportunity to outrun the bottom.
Hmm.
And it's not, and Varney too. Varney's pretty, but like if you get caught on the outside of a car at 4, it's a good chance you might catch the wall.
Oh, okay.
But honestly,
Yeah,
I
I've
think
never seen Varney, and that's a weird looking track. I feel like that'd be confusing the first few times getting on there.
imagine the, well, you haven't driven Peterborough either, so I was gonna say it drives a lot like Peterborough with Sunset's banking.
Okay.
Like
Like
that,
you could tell it's a fast track for its size. You can see that.
oh, and the thing is, like, when I drove Tolton's car there, it was a little beat up, and which is fine. I don't really care about that. I'm not picking on him or anything like that because like it was fun. We raised I think $600 or close to 600 for charity that day,
Oh, good.
and my problem is as a driver, I hate sucking, right? Like,
Mhm.
so I go up for the first feature because they run double features like Flamborough, and I go like multiple laps down in like 17th place. I'm like, this sucks. I'm getting my ass handed to me.
Yeah.
So I go to Tim, I'm like, what can I do to the car to make it better? He goes, I don't really know these cars. Like, I can't really help you. I'm like, all right, full send or no send. That's all I'm doing. And I kind of learned something the last few laps of the first feature that works, but it was not going to be good for the long run of the tires
Okay,
because
yeah.
I was oversteering way too much.
Mhm.
But on that Nissan Sentra, it liked it.
Yeah.
So
I
I was,
remember your stock like that for a few years till I figured something else out.
yeah, so I literally going almost like hand over hand in the middle of the corner.
Mhm.
And then I just went to the top lane. I ended up finishing like 6, like
Oh,
challenging the
perfect.
leaders. I'm like, this makes no sense at all. Like
Yeah.
the amount of times I have told rookies that they are putting too much steering input, it'll never work. I like Peterborough or Sunset, like trying to help people out and stuff like that and help them get better. For me to have to do it at Barney was like, I've lied to all these people.
Yeah. I feel like such a hypocrite right now as you put another.
I'm a hypocrite, but I'm faster. I honestly felt like I needed like one of those truck driver knobs, just like one of the spin ones.
Okay. Just there's the lock, hits the throttle. Okay.
I wasn't lifting.
Oh, okay.
I was just like keeping a little gas and a little brake just to get the rear end to rotate a little bit.
Yeah.
Those cars are honestly, I don't know how they get them to turn at Flamborough because they don't turn well.
No, I've always found like constant push. It's a front wheel drive, constant push. This year, I really like the setup, but I'm like, it still kind of pushes. It's like I can do it and it comes out nice, but I'm like, it pushes. They always push. Like,
But and that's the weird thing about front wheel drive is if you throttle up, it'll point to the way the wheels are going.
yeah.
Rear wheel drive doesn't care if the front wheels are on the car.
Yeah.
So like, and that was my biggest concern. Like, so like I've driven cars back to the pits and not realized I've had tires like folded underneath the driver's seat. And it's like
Okay.
you go to turn in, nothing really seems off. So like it's feels like you got a flat tire. But
Mhm.
it's like, all right, fix flat, come back in. I'm like, where's my wheel? Oh, there it is. And it was literally like underneath the driver's floor. Because I drove
Okay.
all I was holding on still was a brake line.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I'm like, thank God that didn't break.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
yeah, I think you should try rear wheel drive it sometime.
Well, I've done the Pro 4.
I know, but
It's
you need a V8 in your life.
yeah.
V8s sound cool.
Yeah. I like V8s, but I don't like paying V8 price.
But you could play V8 price and just like do like something like a hot rod or something like that.
Yeah.
Because then they pay like you can still run like a small motor and stuff like that and still run like I run my crate on pump gas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They actually, if you look at Chevy's recommendations, they recommend you running on 87 octane. I
Oh,
run I run premium in it just to get the ethanol free fuels,
yeah.
but that's the only reason I run premium. But like there are guys that have tuned cars and realize that the crates make more horsepower on pump fuel than they do race gas.
Yeah. And if it's close, it's economical too, right?
Well, at the same time, engines as well as almost anybody. Octane is resistance to like combustion. So
Mhm.
what are crate engines? I think they're 9.5 to 1.
I'm not sure. I haven't run.
I think they're in that area. I think they're under 10. But
Okay.
like, if you're under 10 to 1 compression, you don't need lots of octane to get the thing to not ping and detonate,
Hmm.
right? So it's just I don't understand what the 120 octane is doing for people other than you're getting clean fuel with no ethanol.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and then you just go to a good gas station, get 91 anyways.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And I'm cheap. I used to run airplane fuel because I used to get it for $1 a liter.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
But I miss that guy. I
Yeah.
don't I don't know whatever happened to him, but yeah.
Uh-huh.
He used to show up at tracks with jugs of airplane fuel for $1 a liter. I'm like, just give me all of them. Because I was running the late model at the time. Like, I'll run late friggin' airplane fuel in the late model. I'm like, I don't even care where you got it from.
Yeah.
But
You tell me it's airplane fuel and it smells good? Okay. But
airplane
the
fuel
liter?
smells
Yeah.
awesome
Yeah.
because it's like 110 low lead, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I also had a built engine at that time, so yeah, it's a little bit different.
Mm.
Anyway, before we carry off on another subject, I'm gonna give you a few moments here to thank your sponsors, also where we can find you for the rest of the season, and where people can find you on social media or buy any Gillian Hils merchandise if you have any.
Oh. No, I'm pretty low key. I've got Insta installation, helped me out a ton. I've got 2 cars off them for the dirt season. Luckily, we didn't need to use the second car. Needs to be built. They're kind of the main guys. And then of course I got to thank my dad. He's the guy, like the dirt car was all him. Like I didn't hardly work on that car. And yeah, that's about it. And I'll be at Flamborough. Oh, yeah, I might do an enduro for the end of the season. We're kind of winding out for the season now. Might take the pure stock out for an enduro, and that'll be about it. Social media, I'm pretty quiet.
I actually didn't think you had social media until we talked one night.
Oh yeah.
But maybe you should bring that pure stock out for colors and just try to kill it there.
I know I'm tempted, but colors is Thanksgiving weekend. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it with dad there, right? And Thanksgiving weekend's the Rockton Fair, which is like family tradition kind of stuff around here.
I know, but chasing a maple leaf, and if any place is going to kill a bone stock engine, it will be Peterborough.
Oh yeah, eh?
Well, because it's so like, what's time? I think the times are second faster on a third mile at Peterborough than they are.
Okay.
So like, if I ran Sunset in my late model, it was like a 14-ish second lap, like a
Mhm.
14.5, where I was 13.9 at Peterborough, and I want to say it was like same as like 14.5 at Flamborough. Because you keep them so wound up because like the corners are faster. So you
Yeah.
just like guys and girls in the preludes, like what you have are chipping like I don't know, like a 205, 65, 15 tire. They're hitting the chip like 4 or 5 times on entry.
Yeah. I
So
used to be able to do that at Flamborough. Well, I don't remember what tire I was running back then, but
but like
flipping that car pretty hard.
what I said, it's one of those things like you at least gotta cross off the bucket list. Run it one time.
Yeah.
It's
Uh-huh.
just like that, we're taking the pure stock to colors. We're gonna break family tradition. We're gonna go.
Yeah.
Okay, Leo's
I
coming. Like
Oh, I showed up last year. I went to the fair Friday and then I just hung out to be there to Carl was running and I just run as a crew for that, but
yeah,
I
but
know.
just
I'm
just
tempted every year.
you got to run it at least once. And while you have a car that you're not worried about if it blows up, that's the best time.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, it's other preludes run there, so like you have at least like measuring sticks to see if you got to make because that's the word. Like not a lot of preludes run in Ontario. Like
No.
they used to be the hot car, and
Mhm.
then everyone kind of like, ooh, Cavaliers have motors that we can find anywhere.
Yeah. Preludes don't exist anymore. Yeah.
Actually, you have a square body prelude, like it's your dirt car's like an 89, 91.
Nope, that's a Honda Accord.
Oh, Well,
Yeah,
sucks to be you.
not as cool. Yeah.
Well, I have
I
literally
had a
two.
square body prelude when I first ran mini stocks. I think that was 2015 at Ohsweken, but I blew the motor in it. I think 3 or 4 times.
But yeah, that's it. I have two like square body Prelude hoods in the backyard that I keep forgetting about.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna say like you could come have them if you want, but I guess it could probably work on an
they'd
Accord,
work, but they're the pop up headlights, so you'd have a little bit of a space, but they'd probably work.
but you could probably just put tin there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But, eh. So now you got if you come race Peterborough, I'll give you the hoods. How about that?
Oh okay.
They're literally sitting against the shed in the backyard. So, but you got to bring a car to Peterborough.
Okay.
That's my deal.
Okay, I'll work on Dad.
Hey, you could even just like bring the car, like go to the like if you know when your race schedule is, you'd be like, all right, I just need to be at Peterborough for this time.
Uh-huh.
Because like you don't technically have to run Friday, you just have to run your qualifier on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then you'll probably be stuck in the B main. But then you get a race of B main, which is I find is always fun.
Yeah.
And then if you win the
Oh,
B
you get a
main,
chance to win too if you're in the B main, right? If you got a good car.
exactly. Or if you just want to be there one day, you run your one heat the one day, win the B main, take the money and trophy in the run.
Yeah.
Because the features are all Sunday, right? So you could show up for Saturday, hope for an only Saturday show, and call it a day.
Yeah, that's
See?
true.
Gray areas.
There's options. There's options.
Or worst comes to worst, you can be like, oh, sorry, car's not running right, go back down to the fair. But you got to at least try Peterborough.
Yeah. I know I wanted to back when I had the smart car. I was like running I don't think they have King of the Hill there, but like a
Yeah, we
track
do.
drawing or something. They do?
We have King of the Hill, but it's like single car runs.
Okay. Oh, so it's just timed?
Yeah, it's time
Okay.
trial. So this way you don't have to worry about some asshole trying to junk you for a win.
Oh, well, that's less fun. I kind of want to roll the smart car.
You can still roll the smart card, but it's your fault this time.
Yeah, you just got to go in way too hot.
Well, actually, so the inside of Peterborough has curbs. Like
Yeah.
they're actually like a rumble strip curb. It's like big patio slabs that stick out. So if you catch them the right way,
I might be able to do it.
yeah, just make sure you got the good helmet on.
Yeah.
Or if you go up, there's the outside walls are K-rail like Flamborough, but they're like straight up and down. So you can actually drive up it a little bit.
Oh, and then try and fall down.
So a lot of people
Or just run like Herbie and just keep the throttle into it the whole time.
I don't think you could go that far. There's no fence back there.
Yeah.
There's a pond.
No, try and run on the wall like that and just see how far the car will go.
Probably till the start finish line has an opening.
Oh, okay. Probably to there.
Yeah, probably to there, and then it's going to be a really fast stop.
Yeah. With
But,
no crumple zone.
Well, there's crumple zone. It's just all inside the car.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna let you go because we both got things to do today. I gotta go fix the blown up motor. You're going to the fair to probably antagonize people for sucking last night.
Yeah.
And I wish you the best of luck. And maybe by I think it's the end of this weekend, maybe you'll be co-champions again at Flamborough. So you might be a twin championship season as long as Wade doesn't suck.
Yeah. We're partying either way.
Yeah, we're partying either way, but hopefully I'm going to make it down next weekend. But we'll see.
Perfect. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for popping on.